right, Snake. I was here the whole time. Did you like my sunglasses?
Yo, it's Toki time. How's it going, everybody? It's time for more Ace Attorney investigations. We are getting close to the end of the second case, and also Zelda releases next week, so I probably only have 2 more stream days of this, so I want to jump into this right away. Let's go! Blackwood. Oh yeah, okay, so last time, what happened last time? Okay, so last time we just did a little bit of investigating in the gift shop, and we basically found out that Rototenero is really bad at designing bags. So, oh yeah, that was basically what that whole investigation was that entire investigation of the crime scene was we found out that Rototenero is really bad at designing bags. So they weren't selling, so she bought one herself, leaving one bag, which proves that the second bag used was not there, which means they had to get it from the cargo hold. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, Franziska's here too. You foolish fools, foolishly fooling around in the fool bin. You know what's funny? Her catchphrase is like spamming the word fool. I assume in the original Japanese version, she said baka, 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 baka. But weirdly, she hasn't said foolish fools yet. Had a thought after the stream. Or the cloth is what's being smuggled. I don't know. I mean, what is this? World famous export of Borginia? I feel like if it's gonna be something they have to smuggle. Okay, so this is something really dumb. God, it's so dumb. So in one of the cases in Apollo Justice, which also I found out that Apollo Justice was released before this, which is why there's so many references to things in Apollo Justice like Borginia. In Apollo Justice, they have Borginia and they have a case, which it's a weird coincidence, but they have like a smuggling case involving Borginia and Apollo Justice. And like they make a whole big deal about the thing that's being smuggled being a super special illegal black market good. But like the cloth is a world famous export of Borginia, as it says here in this description. So I don't know if it would be like a thing worthy of being smuggled. So I don't know if it's this. I still think that this picture is going to be relevant to something other than just the phone. I feel like there's something other than just the phone that's going to be relevant. So that's why I feel like it's not the cloth. I think the cloth is just the cloth. I think it's just there to connect Cami Meal to being part of this weird Borginian conspiracy because she does speak Borginian, and that like lends credence to it being her. It like makes her more involved just to be like, hey, she had ready access to Borginian goods, and that's probably it. Keeps the phone on a lanyard. I still feel like it's like a weird spy thing where there's something special on the phone. I don't know. It's like one of the. It's kind of one of those. I mean, I guess it's probably just closer to the design of how cell phones used to look. I'm trying to think of what time this was like after. Was this like just before flip phones were introduced, or was this after flip phones? Because this kind of reminds me of some of the. Like a burner phone or a safety phone that you give to someone who doesn't really know anything about phones yet. You know, and all its functions are locked down. Like, I remember when dumb phones, non-smartphones. I remember when dumb cell phones were starting to get the ability to connect to the internet, you know. And you had to pay like exorbitant rates. Same thing with like text messaging. You had to pay so much money for text messaging. And like, if you had to give a baby's first cell phone to someone that hadn't really used a cell phone anymore, and you didn't want them to be downloading whatever, I don't even like what kind of things could you download on a phone back then? Like ringtones, Snake, I don't know, using the internet that took 10 minutes to load, and then you can only look at text-based websites. It's like a safety phone that doesn't have any of those features. I don't know. But maybe it's because this was written in 2004. And that's just what the phones look like. I don't know. It's been a while. So I don't remember like when certain types of phones went out of fashion. Anyway.
Wow, this is the cargo hold, huh?
Yeah, it could be a burner phone. Like, I feel like there's a reason it's on a lanyard. It's not like his phone.
It's so big! Oh, sorry, I was looking at something else. Oh, there's the missing bag. This plane is a special model.
Let me adjust my mic a bit. Also, I'm sad there's no music yet. I guess we're not, like, in the scene.
It has both a super large cargo hold and ultra luxurious first class seating.
So is this a real scene of the murder?
There is certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. Yeah, look at me. I'm strong, sir. Begin investigation.
Okay, I'm out. I wonder if there's anything to look at there. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting, I can also just talk to Gumshoe if I want. Here, look at my badge.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, something just fell out of your pocket. What are you... So, did something fall out or not? I didn't get a good look, sir. It doesn't concern you, so don't worry about it. My prosecutor's badge of all things. Gumshoe must never know that I dropped it.
It's kind of funny that Edgeworth never wears his badge. Like, you can see on all of Phoenix's sprites. Whoops, autoplay. I keep on pressing, I'm using a PS5 controller, and I keep on accidentally pressing, like, the middle pad, and that turns on autoplay.
Boo-da-bap, boo-bap.
Those cargo planes are the same. I don't know. The thing is, this is like a passenger plane, so it's weird that, oh my god, this is so big. Bed sheets from Virginia. Oh. Or Bor to USA. Also, to USA is so funny. Oh, I actually, you know what? I saw something really cool. What is this? Also, there's a box of grape juice all the way on the far left. I saw something really cool on Twitter that someone shared. Ace Attorney did, or they showed off a few things about the localization of the game. I didn't look at it, but I saw someone quote retweet it about one specific screenshot where Edgeworth was like, he was exchanging business cards with somebody, and that's like more common in Japan. They treat business cards with a lot of reverence. So they make it a huge thing, and it's like, oh, you have to keep a little binder full of business cards or whatever. And one of the things that they do in the game in regards to localization and also making the new sprites is the way he presents his business card is different depending on the language of the game, which is crazy, and it's such a tiny detail, but it's such a cool thing. Like in the Japanese version, I think he presented, I'm trying to remember. I think in the Japanese version, he presents it vertically, like with the long end pointing toward the person that he's exchanging it with. And then in the English version, he's presenting it horizontally. Because that's like how you would read the business card if it was in English, right? You know, long lengthwise. And then if it was in Japanese, it goes like top to bottom, so you read it vertically. And I thought that was really cool because it's a tiny detail that nobody would ever notice. And that kind of just popped into my head because the boxes are like obviously localized into English. And in Japan, this game takes place in Japan, but in English, this game takes place in the USA. The United States of Japan, America. So this just reminded me of that because it was like Virginia to the USA. Anyway, I want to start my begin investigation from the right to the left.
Oh, I just love pushing the buttons on elevators and crosswalk signals. Here, you should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. The elevator is currently stopped on the first floor, Detective. It can't move. Oh, yeah, I guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway, without the special key card. Both the door to the attendance room and the elevator's control panels require a key card, which makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Tell me about flammable boxes. Gumshoe always gives a... He's your quirky weird girl assistant. He has to be like... He has to act like a 16 to 18-year-old girl. Like every other part of Ace Attorney.
All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable. And this one says pharmaceuticalis. This one says for exorcism use only. Just what kind of operation is this airline running?
Ba-dum-bum. Sir?
Would you like to talk to me, sir? Tap, tap, tap. I'm tapping you on the shoulder. Have you noticed anything strange happening around here? Like ghosts? No, sir. I haven't noticed a thing except for the ghosts. I'm not sure he meant to sound so oblivious.
Franziska!
You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you then immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder.
Oh! Here's my guess. Was she there to welcome Edgeworth back?
Yes, I was.
Why at this airport? I've been following... Oh, never mind. Oh, she's working the smuggling case, I think.
I've been following a very large and involved governmental level international crime. But it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol.
This is another thing that was in Apollo Justice, is like they had Interpol there. ICPO, the International Police. I see.
Interpol is involved?
It's a top secret operation, so I really can't tell you any more than I already have. Oh, I want to show you my badge. There's something much more urgent we should be dealing with right now. Don't waste my time or yours. No, I won't tell you. I want to show you my badge. That's the victim.
Interpol.
Yeah, but she's an Ace Attorney lawyer. She's an Ace Attorney prosecutor, which means she has to always be directly involved with the police at all times, including internationally. It's infuriating to see him crumpled on the floor like that, lifeless. I will catch the one who did this to him myself. I swear it. I will catch him. I will. Also, she's like licensed. I'm just assuming how it works. She's licensed to work in Germany and the US, so I guess if she has some sort of experience working with the police in different regions. Interpol, it's literally in the name. It's international police. They're more than just one region. Also, Europe is a continent, whereas the CIA is America. What is it? Oh no, it is just Central Intelligence Agency. I was trying to remember, I was like, CIA, that's something America, right? I just forgot what the acronym was.
Franziska is really worked up over the victim.
Buddha. Tell me about phones. That sounds much more urgent. No, don't show me that phone. It's really dumb. I have an iPhone because I'm very smart and cool.
What do you think about this piggy bank, Franziska?
What do I think? What else is there to think but that it's a murder weapon?
I meant, what do you think about Captain Hugo himself? Isn't he very cute and fluffy wuffy?
He's a crude rendition of a genus of primates commonly referred to as slow lorises. I love slow lorises. Aren't slow lorises like weirdly cute? They're like kind of dumb. They're like ugly cute, you know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Loris comes from the Dutch word for simpleton, which is extremely fitting because I also think that you are a simpleton, Miles Edgeworth. That's exactly what Captain Hugo represents, the guilty simpleton I'm going to arrest. He's a slow Loris.
I don't suppose she's capable of giving a more normal... Damn, this girl is freaky.
Do sloths have tails? He's more like bearish. He's a slow loris. Oh, look at him. Slow lorises are like related to sloths, but they aren't sloths, right? Slow loris. Whoops. They're like cuter than sloths. Me just Googling things. Anyway, video game. Video game I must attend. This. Okay, we're good. Tell me about bags.
Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. I was thinking about buffets. These must be all the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company's planning to dispose of after this flight is over.
I wonder if we're gonna find something new in there.
This paint job's really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy.
Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness.
You think so? Maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200? I think I'll pass.
And Miss Tenero wonders why they don't sell. You need 2 jobs just to buy one. Of course, my one job is worth 3, so I am able to buy all the steel samurai figures I want. Although, it definitely looks like one is missing. What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? Could it be floor? It's a bunch of glass fragments. Oh, I have a thought! Okay, I have a good thought. Oh, I didn't even... I guess they're not there. Okay, I have a thought. But I want to collect all the evidence first. I want to see if there are any more thoughts I can have.
Hey, what's with this suitcase, pal?
It's what the victim checked in, sir! So this suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we take a closer look.
There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir.
Wait, a file?
There's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir.
Looks like a profile on Franziska. Oh, Franziska? I guess this is part of the case. See, this is why I think it's like a spy espionage thing. Because, like, somebody knows that Franziska's working on this smuggling case with Interpol. So it's like, oh, what if he's like an assassin or something? Wouldn't that be crazy? And then somebody killed him? An enemy spy is in the base. Keeping track of this many pieces. I just realized something. Also, that says Zhengfa Express. Is that a phoenix? Oh, maybe also this big thing that's behind here in the cargo bay. I was thinking that maybe one of these boxes had this gigantic thing. And then I realized bed sheets is probably not big enough for that, but maybe it's behind this giant tarp. Because that seems like it'd probably be the right size for that, right? Maybe? Maybe? Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew.
This sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. I'm very strong. That's one of my strong points.
I'd say that's your only strong point, detective. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy dog eyes, I have no intention of doing so, even though he looks very cute in this game. Look at those big eyes on that tiny chibi sprite. They like drew his face really cute in this game for some reason. Like he's like a little bit less scruffy. How old is he now? Isn't he like 34 now? Because I think he's 32 at the start of the series. No, he's 32 now. That's insane. Hasn't it been 3 years? Is he just permanently 32? Was he 29 at the start of the series? Am I forgetting? He looks so much older. I mean, not that much older. He looks like he's mid-30s to 40s, right? It's crazy, 32. Okay, I have a thought to put together. I have a thought to put together, detective. Haha! Broken glasses. Oh, also, we can put these two together. And glass shards.
Aha! I understand that these two things are the same material. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses lens. Ergo, oh my god, that's the second ergo of the game. The victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir?
I didn't say that right. I didn't enunciate that right.
Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. Pshoo, like a rocket ship. That's not until the 5th game in the series, not including these 2 spin-offs. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. I
can connect these.
Eureka!
Oh no, this isn't a Eureka.
Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Franziska said that she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was, in actuality, Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking maybe he was the bad guy spy and he was targeting Franziska, but now I'm realizing it makes more sense that he's on Interpol's side. And then somebody that him and Franziska are investigating killed him, which would be Camille, a Borginian smuggler. Oh, and in order to smuggle things through the plane, you would have to have a person on the inside. Like an airplane hostess. I don't think they have that much power. But like everything's coming together.
The truth behind Mr. Hicks. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you?
It's pronounced rendezvous, you baka. You foolish fool. Nonsense. What are you talking about?
We found a profile detailing information about you in the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Isn't that correct?
Music is so funky in this game.
I should have known you'd figure it out, Mr. Miles Edgeverse. But it looks like they got to him first.
So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then?
Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international
smuggling ring.
Oh, I'm so on the ball and ahead of the game. I'm gonna make really quick work out of this. Time me. Time it from here until the end of the case. Now I bet I'll get there in like 10 minutes.
He went undercover to investigate this crime.
But you have to pause it every time I stop to talk to the chat.
He went under and it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. Never expected to receive a call about his murder instead.
I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. What was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. No!
Agent Hicks came here for work-related reason. Of that, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing.
Also, did I get any new evidence or thoughts? I think I have new thoughts, but I can't see them right now.
Franziska, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation?
No, unfortunately, I was going to find out from him after he landed.
I see, but this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. However,
Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in.
yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then...
Oh, look at him zoom.
The Shadow Man put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and...
They phased into the elevator, but while they were riding it up... Putya! Putya! I made that sound effect myself, Franziska. The plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open, and Agent Hicks's body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere.
That's like the least secure wallet to ever happen. Also, why does the inside of the suitcase have just hearts? Oh, imagine your wallet popping out of your pocket and literally everything just flies everywhere.
Oh, which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. Investigation complete.
Why did you say that out loud, Miles Edgeworth? I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage.
What, really, sir? What? The name's Detective Dick Gumshoe. Really, sir?
I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero.
Oh, argument. Let's go.
If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is that the key card that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such a high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say it's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you?
I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that.
I might have to press here. I can't find anything definitive yet. What do we have? If it was a crew member, anyone could have shown him to the cargo hold. So what I'm thinking is maybe... I don't know. Because I'm trying to figure out the order of events. So one of them showed him to the cargo hold, and then one of them brought him up the elevator. Keycard allows the elevator to come down here. This is Rhoda Tenero. What about the captain? Is this true?
Hold it! Why would such important things like the keycard be entrusted to only one person?
According to Camille, Rhoda Tenero is in charge of most of the important stuff.
Then what exactly is Miss Meal in charge of?
She is in charge of only the tea. All the tea. She has many different kinds of tea. Chatting it up with the captain, apparently. She was being so foolishly foolish that I didn't want to ask her what her other duties were.
Oh my god, she said it. That's the first foolish fool of this entire game.
Gah! I understand how you feel, but whipping me is just now was uncalled for.
In the end, the only person who could have let Agent Hicks into the hold was Rhoda Tenero. I'd say this is a pretty observation, wouldn't you?
No. Press.
Hold it! That might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Miss Meal or even the captain.
Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot in the cockpit is like a horse without a rider, crop in hand. Much like Scruffy over there. He's like a horse. He's like a dumb horse. He's like a mule. Oh, you're so dumb and ugly, Detective Scruffy.
That really hurts my feelings, sir.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Oh, Miss Von Karma. I'm sorry. Yay! I can't disagree with her on that. He is like a big dumb horse. Very well then, what about the other flight attendant, Miss Meal?
Ah, I thought you might ask about her.
Hold it!
but it's highly likely that the keycard was stolen from Miss Tenero. Objection! It's highly likely. Is that possibility the best thing you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my Faja? Yes, well, he was a criminal. I don't know why you still look up to him. He murdered my father. While I don't have any evidence, Be quiet, you're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Tenero, you know. It's not just the keycards that gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon, the Captain Hugo piggy bank? Yes, she's also the only person with the key to open that display case. I don't know why I'm putting these emphasis on these words. Oh, this is a new statement. It's funny because usually in the main game, since they're in court, they always have to say, yes, please add that testimony. Also, the judge isn't here. It's so weird when there's not a dumb idiot. There's not just a guy there being a dumb idiot in between the two of you. It's just you arguing. Because usually there's a judge to be like, I don't understand what's going on. Please add that latest statement to the testimony. Oh, why, yes, Your Honor, of course. I'll add that lie to the testimony. And then you get the new statement. And here it's just like, they don't really acknowledge it. It's just like, there's a new thing she said, but if I'm not paying attention, I'll miss it. Further, there is a matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank. The murderous bank! The case of the murderous bank. That's my favorite book. That's my favorite murder mystery novel. Did you know that? Thing is, I don't know if this is an objection. Because, okay, so the thing here is we don't know whether this was, the turbulence caused it to fall out of the display case and then the murderer picked it up, or if the murderer could open the display case with a key card and then take it out and then, the scenario that puts Edgeworth at an advantage is the only one that makes sense to me and is probably the likely one. But I don't know if this is enough to debate her right now, so I might just press this first. Hold it! And then I'll object after if— Objection! I didn't get to see what you said, Miles Edgeworth! Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth! Objection! Oh, no, that was it. It was just— Oh, wait. Hold it! But that is a fake— Objection! Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth! You didn't expect me to cut you off, did you? You don't have any proofs that this is just a red herring. Look at it. It doesn't look like a fish at all. Franziska, you know that's just a turn of phrase. No, it's a fish! If you must keep on insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Gah. Do I have any idea what the real murder weapon could be? Wait, there's no way. This would be such a dumb plot twist, but also I expect that out of Ace Attorney. It would be so dumb if the phone was the murder weapon, but that doesn't make any sense because it's around his neck. And how would she have gotten the phone from around his neck? Because that's like the only thing that's clearly missing, right? Like there are only so many objects that we know about. Unless it is the plushie. Maybe the phone's in the plushie. Because, like, usually when they're like, oh, you don't even have the real murder weapon, you can't prove anything. It's that the murder weapon is something that's missing. Like, because we can't prove a negative, right? We can't prove that the phone was the murder weapon. Or we can't prove that there was another weapon, but we can imply that. So usually in the Ace Attorney games, it gets to a point where it's like,
You have no evidence to support your argument, Mr. Wright. And then Phoenix hears Mia Fey's voice in his head, and she's like, Phoenix, it's me. Believe in yourself. Because she's dead and she's a ghost. And then he's like, in times like this, I have to turn my thinking around. And then he's like, he would be like, if I can't prove that there's a missing murder weapon, I have to think of what's missing and explain why it would have been taken away. And the reason it's taken away is because it's a murder weapon. So that's where my thinking immediately goes. It's like, okay, so we have a missing object in the phone, but that would be such a dumb plot twist. Like, I don't know how she could have taken the phone from him when it was around his neck on the lanyard. But that's like, that feels like it's where this is going. Am I crazy? Have I played too much Ace Attorney and now I'm like Phoenix Wright, where I'm an insane person?
Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed.
There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon?
The piggy bank? Fingerprints? She would have wiped out the fingerprints. I feel like anytime you're like,
We should examine this for fingerprints.
they're like, no, we already checked for prints. Obviously, they wiped off the prints. Crime scene, the body. Maybe it is just the piggy bank.
What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authentic?
So this is... Oh, actually, wait. What about the crime scene? Maybe there's something at the crime scene to imply that a murder took place in a different way? Plaintiff's King was 100% defeated King Glare. That's insane. Oh, you know what's funny? I don't know. I don't remember if I did this on stream or in my personal playthrough, but I accidentally found the King Gleok Island and I managed to kill the King Gleok. Isn't that amazing? Maybe we'll go full Sky movie and the phone is running some sort of next-gen OS. Maybe? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what the actual significance of the missing phone is. Let's try the crime scene.
I think we should examine the crime scene in more detail. We might turn up the murder weapon if we search all of the cargo and luggage.
Did you think I hadn't thought of that? Even now, we're searching through them. But we haven't found anything that could even closely resemble a murder weapon.
Oh, right then. I suppose we should examine something else.
Unless I'm just overthinking it and we should just examine the fake murder weapon.
We should examine the bank itself once more to determine if it is the real murder weapon. If this is the real weapon, it should be damaged or perhaps have a dent on it somewhere.
We've looked into that already, and there is no sign of anything on it. You picked the wrong option again, Mr. Miles Edgeverse, but we can't discount it as the murder weapon on that fun fact alone. The piggy bank is, after all, made of a stronger material than human flesh.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So I was not overthinking it, I just picked the wrong option. That's funny.
Franziska, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions.
Oh, was I?
Yes, we don't even have the autopsy results yet. If you allow me... Ms. Franziska, I have updated the autopsy report.
Oh my god, we're finally here. We're making it to updated autopsy report.
How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see? If the wound on Agent Hicks's head is consistent with the murder weapon.
Scruffy!
Yes, sir?
Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks's autopsy.
Yes, sir!
I like when they zoom out of frame when we're in the 2D scene.
We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's the real murder weapon. What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said they already know this one thing for sure.
Report now.
The doc said it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back.
Okay. So it wasn't a head injury, or at least just a head injury. Here's what I'm thinking. She pushed him off from the top of the stairs and he fell to his death. That's how he would have gotten one giant bruise all across his body. Because there's no way that she, like, got in a fight and then just got one giant whack-in. It was probably that he fell. It could have been an accident, but I think she might have actually just murdered him.
From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back? He was beaten over such a wide area? Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against Mr. Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir.
Oh, here's an alternate theory. What if he was already dead? What if he was, like, murdered during the pickup between, what was it? Zheng Fa and the USA? And she put him in a cargo box, and then during the turbulence, he got bashed around a bit.
Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean?
That's,
Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, detective?
Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir.
You're completely useless.
Yo!
Sir, I told you already, you can't go down there.
No, my 10 minutes is up. Rip in peace.
No, you remove yourself from my way.
What is all that racket?
Oh, god damn it. I have to, like, get back into the Wario voice. He was like,
Wario! My luggage! My cargo! They're mine and I demand you return them to me! I'm going to push you with my chase!
We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience.
I suppose there is no choice. Oh, I'm so sad!
Finally, I think you got— Hey, what are you—
You have left me no choice but to use strong force. I'm going to use the Wario charge attack from...
what was it? Wario World?
Wario World.
You won't get past me.
Oh, God!
This is... Wait, that's it!
So that's what this whole thing has been about. Oh my god. This is so dumb. Wario Land, that's what it is.
From Wario Land.
This This is such a dumb screenshot to pause on. Okay, yeah, so this proves my theory. Yeah, he's dead. Oh my god, this man is so dead. Look at him. Oh, okay. Wait. I think, oh my god, I think I'm right. Okay, so this thing, this is why I kept on like thinking of this photo. Like, if you remove everything except for him, he's like in the corner of the screen. And usually these sorts of photos in Ace Attorney games contain more than one clue. And it's like, this can't be just about the phone. That's why I think this is about the statue, and I think it got picked up in Zheng Fa. And so I don't think this is gonna be like another death. Because I think my theory that he fell or was pushed off the top of the staircase and died is correct. And I don't think this guy's about to die. I think he's about to land on the cargo. And I think that this thing was picked up in Zheng Fa and put here, and that's what's under the tarp, like I was saying earlier. So he lands on this and he survives. But if that wasn't there, he would fall there and die, which means he was murdered during the layover from Zheng Fa. Where do I have like a thing that says there was a layover, right? Is this it? Refuel from 4 to 5 a.m. He was murdered in this time frame before the giant statue was brought in. And that's why I think I've solved the whole thing. And it was chamomile.
First, as a matter as a kid got to the murderous bank. I went to the murderous bank.
I remember when I remembered that piece of information after I was empty-handed. Oh wait, is this all new information? Oh, that's so weird. Because this is like things that she previously said, but now he's putting things together and now he's adding it to his mind palace. Also, this is happening while this guy is falling.
A dog says one-time bruise.
Oh my god.
Dunk.
Oh, I'm dead. Mind Palace, activate.
That is a really good anime moment. Bow. Nobody can find anything that could be considered a real weapon to hold. This is a murder weapon. Does this connect to this? Which one of these does this connect to? Is there some way for me to prove that this isn't the real murder weapon? We don't know if there's a murder weapon anywhere. Does that connect to that? We can't find a murder weapon. He's been severely beaten. That's what I'm thinking? Okay, it's the other one. Connect! Oh wait, no, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I realized after I pressed triangle there what the connection is. It's that, is there some way for me to prove that this isn't the real murder weapon? With the bruising, which wouldn't be caused by this. Connection. This isn't the real murder weapon. Okay.
Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there is extensive bruising over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. He got his back blown out, and if that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger.
Or did he, what if he got like crushed? What if he got crushed by the statue and that's the murder weapon? No, I think he had to have fallen. He got pushed to his death.
A sizable weapon. If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. But so far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. The murder weapon was the entire airplane. Because normally, it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration.
If he's about to say, Franziska, I've discovered the murder weapon. And she's like, oh, well, that's impossible, Mazedva. There's no murder weapon about here. And then he's like,
I'll have you know, the murder weapon is all around here. It is the entire airplane.
Because that's the most dumb way to word it.
What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Franziska!
What? What do you want?
I found it, Franziska. I found the real murder weapon.
You did?
He really jumped. I'm not paying attention to this argument. I'm just looking at the dead guy. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs.
Says that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit.
This is coming from a prosecutor with the habit of whipping everyone she comes across.
Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence.
You two aren't listening at all, are you?
Come on, then, show me this real murder weapon you speak of.
Okay, I know the answer is definitely, I don't have evidence to show. Oh, unless it is the statue. I'm just assuming it's the plane because she pushed him. But I want to see what happens if I say show evidence.
This is the real murder weapon. Take that! I have concluded that my prosecutor's badge is the real weapon, I suppose.
What is that supposed to mean, you fool?
That was practice just now for when I would show you the real murder weapon.
Why don't we add practice whippings to your routine as well? I need to think about the circumstances of the victim's death in a different way. There's a wide bruise running from the victim's shoulder down to his mid-back. Maybe I should be focusing on what could cause such a large bruise in one strike. I don't have any evidence to show you.
Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show?
Perhaps I should have phrased it as, that which caused Agent Hicks's death is incorporeal. It was the Shadow Man. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured out what the real cause of death was. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground.
I'm so sad he didn't do the thing. I'm so sad he didn't do the thing that I said he was gonna do, where he's like,
The real murder weapon is the entire plane.
what are you talking about, Miles Edgeworth?
He fell to his death.
He fell to his death?
Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. And the only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death.
But the murder happened inside this plane.
I know.
Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from?
As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time.
You can't mean...
Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hold.
What? Then, we're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs.
No, he's fine.
Hey, you! Tell me you aren't dead, pal. Quiet! Why are you screaming? He's alive!
Yes, that much was obvious.
And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks fell over the railing to his death. The man is living proof of that.
As Von Karma's massive turquoise cufflinks.
I think that's just like her color. Like all of her jewelry is that color, right? I'm trying to remember if there was anything relevant on Manfred Von Karma. I mean, he had a blue jacket, I guess. I think that's just her color. Her birthstone. It's her birthstone. She was born in... Is turquoise a birthstone? I know sapphire is like September. Maybe her birthstone. Maybe she was born in September. That man is living proof of that.
I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances.
Current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean?
Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then?
He would have been a Bobtinian pancake for sure, sir, and I think those are very delicious.
I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is that the cargo box is there. So there is no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios.
It may be there now, but there is no proof that it was always there.
Ha! As if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there.
Ah, but there was.
What?
What can I use to show her that it's possible the box was not always where it is now? Take that!
You refueled in the Republic of Zhengfa?
Yes, this flight had a short layover in Zhengfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question.
Ah, it's labeled Zhengfa Express.
Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zhengfa. What a meaning? Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at that same time?
It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfa leg of the flight.
making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. Ah, but you see, he's still very far-fetched. My favorite Pokemon. It's your favorite Pokemon? Then how do you feel about Sword and Shield, where they introduced a far-fetched evolution? I didn't like that they made a regional far-fetched. I wanted the evolution for the regular far-fetched. But he looks so cool with his giant leek sword. Yes, but I like it with the smaller leek sword that's one-handed, like my Vir. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Begin investigation! Shouldn't. Yeah, I was thinking Edgeworth, that's why I don't like British Edgeworth. Like, if anything, he should have a German accent. I think he just has like a posh American accent. He has a posh American accent. And not a British accent. That's why I don't like his new voice lines don't really reflect his objection voice line, because his objection voice line is like, objection! And then his hold it voice lines are like, hold it! Eureka! And it makes him sound, I don't know, I don't like it. This is a rather large piece of cargo.
There's the tag on it, sir. Let's see. Aleph Red Statui. Never heard of it. I don't know what the Statui is.
Nor I, however, I do know what a Statui is. But all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime.
Then let's get investigationing, sir. Look here! Do not go about touching my possessions without my permission! Don't rush up on me like that, pal!
So, this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him.
Alright, fine. It's insane that we keep on having to run into this guy when he's like... I mean, he's somewhat related. Tell me about my badge.
Yo, I can say you have the guts to show me a piece of art at this time. But from a single glance, I can tell already it is mostly worthless.
This has much more value as a piece of non-art, I assure you.
You look like you have something to say. Perhaps you are thinking like casting pearls before swine.
He actually hit the nail on the head for once.
How did the sequel get new voice lines now that it's released inside of Japan? Did the sequel get new voice lines? I don't think it did. Oh yeah, wait, could it have? No. It wouldn't have, because unless they have like new interjections. Actually, if there are more new characters, then they probably got new voice lines. I think that unless Edgeworth got new interjections, I don't think they would have replaced his voice. Because in the Apollo Justice trilogy, so in the, what is it? In Ace Attorney 5 and 6, Edgeworth comes back and he has completely new voice lines. Like, he has a new voice actor. I think they gave everybody new voice actors. Like, Phoenix is voiced by Sam Riegel. Fun fact, in the anime for Ace Attorney, Sam Riegel doesn't voice Phoenix, but they did make him voice Furio Tigre, who is Phoenix's doppelganger. So I think that's really fun. But they gave everybody new voice lines in Ace Attorney 5 and 6. Which are different from the voice lines that he has in this game that I'm playing right now. So, if he has these voice lines in this game, I think they're just going to transfer them over to the second game. Because I don't think he has any new weird interjections. I think it stops at Eureka, and they're probably just going to keep it over. Because most of these voice lines are actually from the original trilogy. Like, the objection is his original objection. And then when he says hold it and take that, that's from when they had to record new voice lines in... It was game 3, right? I'm not crazy. In game 3, you had to play as Edgeworth for one small segment. So they had to give him new voice lines, but they had... I don't know if it was like a new actor or if they gave him new direction. But that's why his objection is like... It sounds different from his hold it and take that. Aren't those the prequels? No. I mean, technically these are prequels. What it is there's Ace Attorney 1, 2, and 3. And in Ace Attorney 3, you play as Edgeworth for a segment, and they give him new voice lines there. And then it's Apollo Justice 1, which is 10 years into the future. And then they release these two games, but they take place before Apollo Justice 1, because these take place just after Ace Attorney 1, 2, 3. And they transferred his lines from Ace Attorney 3 into this game, and then also gave him a Eureka. And then Ace Attorney 5 and 6 are sequels to Apollo Justice, where they give him a new voice actor. And that's everything. Oh, are you talking about Great Ace Attorney? Great Ace Attorney has voiceovers. That's like, Great Ace Attorney is completely different characters because it takes place in like the 1800s. Was it the 1800s? I don't know, it's like 100 years ago or something. It's whatever. But that's like all completely different characters. Anyway, we have to talk to Wario here. I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc?
Of course it is mine. I ship this fine piece of art from Europa.
1880s, yes, that's correct.
This a leaf red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more.
How much is 10 million? I guess that's 10 million yen. Whenever they use cents, I think that's just a standard for yen. How much is 10 million? 100,000, I think. $100,000, 10 million cents.
Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this per
10 million cents?
I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, detective.
Darn, how'd you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year.
Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun, I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is it in euros or dollars?
Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there is a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer.
It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. I do not allow PDA in my presence.
Is it this? Nope. Whoops. I think it's that. I feel like it's that. Let me enter my mind palace. Smuggling. All right. Oh my god, they're smuggling art.
If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Zhengfa. I think I need to question him a bit further.
Hello, sir. Are you smuggling?
About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc, I wonder if it might be a fake.
What? How dare you say my art is a fake?
I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring.
Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have the certificate of my cargo right here.
Do you mean the cargo certification documents? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc!
Did I know his name was Zinc? I guess so. I think I forgot.
I can't read this! What does it say?
I'm trying to see if there's like any characters in it. No, it's just garbage.
It says as plain as day. The cargo was put onto the plane in Europa.
And there you have it, Miles Edverse. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in this certificate.
No, that's...
Which means that there never was a window in time which the statue wasn't sitting there.
Then what is the second thing? Here's what I'm thinking. So there are two big things here. What if the smaller one is the real statue and it was to the left of where it is now? And then the murder happened when we were refueling in Zhengfa. And then they put the fake statue onto the plane. And then they pushed the statue over and the real statue is covering the actual scene of the murder, and that's why it's there now. So now it's covering blood, and if we're able to move the statue, then we get to find the real murder scene, which proves our entire theory correct. Watch this. Watch this, watch this, watch this.
I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself.
Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right.
That's definitely covering the murder scene. Oh. Is that on top of the thing? Is that on top of the tarp? Oh, look at this, look at this. Okay. So this statue is on top of the tarp of that's covering the thing that's in from Zhengfa, which means that this statue was put here after we refueled in Zhengfa. Which means, oh, here's what it is. The real statue is the one on the left. And when they were in Zhengfa, they put the Zhengfa Express tarp over top of the real statue and brought the fake statue on to cover the scene of the crime. And then they put his tarp over this so that they would think the fake statue is the real one. And the real statue is actually the one to the left. Shouldn't the eyes be red? Yeah, it's the, what was it, Red Caliph? Oh, that's why this piece of evidence is here. I knew this was gonna be relevant. Like, this whole time it was like, there's no way this statue isn't related to the case. Obviously, this is here for a reason. It's because we have to point out that the eyes are red, and that's the piece of evidence that proves it. So I think the real statue is actually the one to the left, and the thing being on top of the tarp proves that this is the fake statue that was loaded on after we refueled in Zhengfa. And also, it's over the murder scene. Oh, yeah.
I know I've seen this somewhere before.
This is the Aleph red? This is the olive red? It doesn't look anything like an olive to me, and it's not even red. Gives off such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. This statue has a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at a museum in Europe, I brought it into this country to exhibit it.
A leaf red. These are being shipped by Mr. LeBlanc claims worth 10 million cents. That's not relevant.
I believe a closer look is to be warranted here. Objection! So this is the infamous Leaf Red statue,
What is it, Mr. Ridgeworth? Did you find something?
There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail.
There's nothing else wrong, right? It's just the red eyes. Yeah.
Is this Eureka! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think?
Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir.
I don't think you see what I'm talking about.
No, I do, but it's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. The memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I fell ill.
I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in the photo?
Huh? Ah! Sir, they're red!
As I thought, this statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc,
what do you want? Do you not know I am a big busy man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer.
the leaf red. I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not?
It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess this statue? Because I am a ghost. The trigger started 17 years ago. Better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is gonna be a long story.
Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but...
What is it, mate? Sympathy for what?
You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes.
That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you.
I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us, and the one in the photo.
Why this sudden yelling? Now then. Oh! It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe.
Now, do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake.
Fake!
I believe that even further examination will be required. Now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake, there must be some sort of proof this was brought on board in Zhengfa, and I will present to you the evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction.
I know what it is.
What's this?
The statue looks like it's stepping all over the neighbor's cloth cover. Kind of resembles the owner's attitude in a sense. You, what did you say just now? Further, my clothing stain is not stepped on by anyone. It is too expensive for me to allow that to happen.
Please forgive the trespasses of my subordinate.
Why should I forgive if the dress passes? Unless it is an expensive dress, you keep it. Why should I care if he passes? I don't care how transgender he is.
Is this the spot somehow?
Do they want me to present that?
Eureka! I'm not entirely confident that there's a contradiction here. What do you think to okay, yeah.
I wasn't sure. Like, I'm not sure what they want me to say. Is it just we refueled in Zhengfa? I'm always confused during these segments because it's like, it's not always a contradiction. It's sometimes just like this is connected to a thing. I think it's this one. I didn't realize we had that piece of evidence. I didn't realize that's what it said in the description.
There's clearly a contradiction here.
What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of a cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo, you big dummy. Don't you know that things can go on top of each other? That's not possible.
But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zhengfa, there is no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhengfa.
But then, what about the cargo certificate?
Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There is only one reason why, to secure proof of the smuggling activity aboard this flight.
So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. He could have just as easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed.
That may be true, however, you have it backwards, Franziska.
So who's the culprit? I'm pretty sure it was Cammy. I'm pretty sure it was chamomile. I mean, technically nothing we found so far actually specifically implicates her. But like, I'm pretty sure it was her because it has to be one of the airline stewardesses and she's trying to implicate Rhoda Tenero. But the only other piece of connecting evidence that we have is that she's Borginian. So she's probably connected to the Borginian smuggling case. I don't know if we've like actually found anything. We'll probably find a piece of evidence later. But as of right now, we're just finding out how the murder happened and what is involved in the case. and then maybe we'll find murder. Or no, I guess there's no murder weapon. We'll find out what happened later. I'm trying to think, how would it ever be possible to pin the crime on her? Because if she pushed him off of the staircase, so here's what I'm thinking happened. She let him in because she kind of had to, because he informed the crew that he was there investigating the smuggling case. She personally let him in. And then realizing this was her only chance to stop him from finding out, she pushed him off the staircase. And then they did all this stuff with the statue and the fake statue. How would we ever implicate her? Would there be blood on her? I don't know about that. Because if the murder is pushing him off the staircase, I literally have no idea how we would ever connect the crime to her. Because they still think it was Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, like literally the only connective tissue we have is that A, she's one of the 2 stewardesses that could have committed the murder, and B, she's Borginian. Like literally the only 2 pieces of connective tissue we have here are those. So I don't know where this is going, but I'm pretty sure it was her.
Sure, Agent Hicks could but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there is someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates, which could only be a stewardess.
A Borginian stewardess. Oh, that's how we actually connected to her. It's not because she's Borginian that she's inherently involved with the case. It's that she's Borginian, which means she could be the only member of the flight crew that could forge the cargo certificate in Borginian. Because I did forget this was actually written in Borginian. That's the only way they could have forged this certificate, which is how we connected directly to her. Okay, now I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing it. We're getting there.
I guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh?
Yes, while this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board.
Oh. Is that why the phone was taken? Because she had to... Because, like, he had to have taken an incriminating photo, and she had to get rid of that evidence. That's why she took the phone.
A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler.
Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death.
Officer, move this statue immediately.
Oh, here we go. It's like I said, they're going to reveal the murder scene because the statue's on top of where he fell.
I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now!
Ms. Von Karma, I'm ready to report my suburb.
Go on.
After moving the Aleph Red statue out of the way, we tested the area underneath with luminol, and there was a reaction.
There it is.
I see. There was a reaction to luminol. An indication that there was blood in that spot.
Gah, can we stop looking at it now, sirs?
What if... Yeah, God damn it. No, stop! That's what I was thinking, like... Before I realized that we could connect her to the crime by her being the only one that could forge the Borginian certificate, I was thinking, like... how would we actually connect her directly to the crime? Because it's impossible for her to have gotten blood on her, because the murder was pushing him off the staircase, which means when he died, she wasn't actually near him, so she wouldn't have like gotten blood splashed on her. That's why I ended up ruling that out and couldn't really think of anything other than her being Virginian.
It would seem that my deductions were correct after all.
I suppose it would appear that way.
The culprit cleaned the blood up well.
And how do you think the killer did that?
How did the killer clean up all the blood?
This?
Take that! The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess.
I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zhengfa.
Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover.
So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhengfa?
There is no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zhengfa, then this becomes highly suspect.
Was it LeBlanc that said he saw him? No, it was Camille. He took his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Recall that Miss Meal's testimony about Agent Hicks.
I was wondering how we were actually going to get her back into the room to question her. Because, like, I think I know how she's connected to the murder, but I wasn't sure how we would prove that without getting there first, so I wasn't sure how we would get her back in the room. But I forgot that this was her testimony.
Recall Miss Meal. She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls.
I don't think that's what she sounded like.
No, I remember her sounding exactly like that. She said, ah, 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 ah.
That totally contradicts the facts, sir.
But why would she lie about something like that? I don't know. I can't think of any possible reason why someone would lie in the case of a murder.
I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself.
Oh my god, damn it. Not another to be continued. I think we finished this in half an hour. Whoops. Oh my god, this is so long. I know I have to like read every line of dialogue. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is gonna be the final argument. Here we go. Here we go. Are you ready? This is the end of the case.
Miss Meal. Miss Meal. Do you recall what you said earlier? About when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zhengfa?
What does any of this have to do with the Thieving Crow, by the way? Oh yeah. Did he say that this had something to do with it? Because this is a flashback case. I mean, it is a smug. Oh, what was the Yadagarasu's thing? That what was it? They only steal from like corrupt companies and businesses or something. So maybe the Yadagarasu was also trying to steal evidence of this corrupt smuggling ring. Like maybe they stole something that was being smuggled, and at the very end of this case, we find a note saying, "Hi, I'm the Yadagarasu. I stole this dumb statue," or whatever. Or something like that. I don't know. I think that most of this case probably has nothing to do with it, but we're gonna find something at the very end. And then we're gonna flash back forward to case 3. Whoops.
You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply not possible. Because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Zhengfa. Miss Cammy Meal!
Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did.
No one could make a mistake so large, Miss Meal.
I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction.
Very well. Miss Meal, if you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we were to land at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found.
Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edward?
Her eyes are so creepy. Like her half dead eyes. Good testimony. Good phrase one of your testimony. I'll be sure to press that.
At 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. Yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self.
God damn it. God damn it.
How is a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? Miss Meal, wake up! Sigh. She fell asleep again. Ha ha ha. It looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. Rebuttal!
Huh?
I said rebuttal. Hold it! Miss Meal, wake up!
Miles Edgeworth, I demand you do something about this flight attendant this instant.
Why ask me to wake her when you can finally put that whip to an appropriate use?
God damn it.
Hold it! If I remember correctly, food was being served in first class and the lounge between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff's run by Miss Rhoda.
Then what were you doing in the attendance room at that time?
Eating and having the most delicious dream.
You mean you were neglecting your duties?
No way! Sleeping's part of my job too!
This is good testimony. This is, oh my god, we're getting so much out of this. This is probably a press-em-all. I don't think there's anything to contradict here.
Miss Meal, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Wake up! Out! What do you with me for, sir?
Oh, what I miss?
She would never hit a lady.
A poor detective being on the receiving end of a lash in your stead.
Really? Sorry about that.
You can make amends for it by continuing with your testimony. With your testimony.
Oh wait, this is wrong. This is a lie. From 5 to 6, I was in there. Oh wait. What did she say specifically here? He was there in his seat when we took off. I guess. Objection! No. I guess she could have seen him just before 5 and then went in there just after 5. I guess that could have technically happened at the same time. Whatever. Also, I skipped all this.
Time for the sleepy objection, you foolish fool.
Fine, it's a press-em-all.
Hold it! So you were alone the entire time, were you?
Yeah, no one else even popped their head and said hi.
Oh, well, I think a contradiction just popped in to say hi. What should I do? Should I raise an objection?
Fine. Is it what I think it was, but it wasn't an objection I had to press and then objection?
Miss Meal, there is a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony.
Huh? What are you talking about? Unless there's actually something else I'm forgetting. Because this is the only thing I can think of. What happened at 5? Drinks? I guess?
It's not possible that you were alone in the attendance.
Oh, because she would have had to go back, because Rotatunera would have had to go back there and get drinks.
Take that! Now take a look at this eye-opening piece of evidence.
That was wrong. Wait. Was loaded on board during 4 and 5 a.m. Because oh no, she brought the bag back between 5 and 6. I don't know, there's a lot of evidence that makes it feel like it could feasibly work, but I see that that's more obvious.
Miss Meal, I need you to wake up and take a look at this.
Hurry up and show real evidence. I bet you didn't notice that there was more than 2 things that said the time. I bet you didn't notice. Oh my goodness, we put so many pieces of evidence that says the time of 5 o'clock on them, but you didn't read all of them. One of them was even more specific, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
Oh, that's cute. I don't know. That sprite's really cute. Where she's wiping the sleepy out of her eyes.
I'm feeling all time.
Oh, it's alright if you were sleeping, pal.
Pay no mind to the scruffy detective beside you and wake up.
Yow! Hurry up and wake up, Miss Meal!
Enough with the clowning around. We're done with the clown case. That was in the second game, case 3.
Send me here. This one.
Objection! I wonder if you would be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Meal.
Huh? A receipt for what? Yeah. Didn't you know in the second Ace Attorney game there was a circus case that everybody hated and regards as the worst case in the game? And then, fun fact, in Ace Attorney 6, there's also another clown case. There were 2 clown cases in this series, and it's insane. Especially because the second one didn't actually need a clown. It was like a Rakugo case. And they were like, what if we made one of the characters a clown?
It's for the suitcase, Miss Tenerobot. Now, if I may direct your attention to the timestamp. As you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m., Miss Tenero.
Yes. Oh, she's here. I forgot she was here. Huh? Why is the calendar here? I thought you have locked her up by now.
I requested that she be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your gay lie. Bum bum. Now then, Miss Tenero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip from first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct?
Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase. After which, I went straight to the attendance room to drop it off.
And did you see Miss Meal there at the time?
No.
So, Miss Meal, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Miss Cammy Meal!
Bathroom?
I'll be the one to ask the questions here.
Maybe that's it. I probably just missed her. Need your call, you know?
Do you take me for a fool? That's a little too convenient to be true.
But it's true. Cut my heart.
I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage.
You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out?
Whenever she does the normal mouth, like whenever it's not the sleepy mouth, it's always like a little bit creepy because she still has the dead eyes, but she's clearly being serious. Cammy's plan is just to be really high. Yes. I'll tell you what, chamomile is definitely the not the type of leaf she's been ingesting. I like when she has the sleepy mouth, and then when she has the normal mouth, it's creepy because she has the dead eyes. The reason for sus.
Look, I don't know why you're sus, because I'm one of the crew. But you think then maybe you should also sus Miss Rona too. She's the one in charge of the elevator key card in the shop, you know. If you ask me, that makes her super sus.
Please leave Mr. Nero out of the conversation. Only you are under sus for now.
I don't get it. Why are you covering Miss Rona all the time? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you got your eye on Miss Rona.
Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I?
Never mind. Oh, you want to know something? Miss Rhoda actually kind of...
I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design.
Now's not the time for this sort of talk. I have a partner.
Reason for sus. Know you're sus, because I'm one of the crew. Think that. Maybe you should also sus Rhoda. She's the one in charge of the elevator key card in the shop. I feel like that's definitely the one we have to press. That makes her super sus.
Hold it. And what are you in charge of, Miss Meal?
I hear the attendance room.
That doesn't count.
I guess I spend so much time there. Might as well be my responsibility.
Mr. Edgeworth, Cammy is very talented in languages. So she assists passengers who may not speak English. Especially those who speak
Virginian.
She is the only one on this flight who's fluent.
Oh, you mean that kind of one am I in charge of? Why didn't you just say so in the first place?
What else could I have meant?
Yeah, so I'm really good at Virginia.
She's fluent in Borginian.
Isn't she also in charge of first class? I don't think she's in charge of anything. Legitimately, I think she's literally only in charge of this.
Then I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian.
Yeah, I take out anything that has to do with Virginian.
Very interesting.
This is probably a contradiction, but I'll just say press. I'll just press for now.
So what exactly do you do as the one in charge of some Borginian stuff?
I just like translate things from and into Virginia.
Cammy is the only member of the crew who understands Borginian, Mr. Edgeworth.
Miss Meal, I take it then that it is your job to process all the Borginian paperwork?
Yeah, see, I totally pull my weight around here.
So it would appear. Perhaps I should ask her for a few more details about her work. And, Miss Meal, it is very unladylike to push sus onto somebody else.
That's all I'm doing at all. I'm just having been on
Sus! Sus! Guys, they said sus in the game, and it wasn't a meme. I said sus, but they said sus. They said sus themselves.
Miss Rhoda is very sus.
There it is.
There you go, pushing sus.
I don't get what you're saying. Must be a really abstract concept, huh? I don't know how to play Among Us.
The only thing abstract here is the landscape inside your head. Got him! What a sick burn I just delivered inside my brain.
Bam.
Objection! So you're the only one on this flight crew that speaks Borginian. Is that correct?
Huh? Oh yeah, I guess so.
You didn't say anything. If that is the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Borginian is you, Miss Meal. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Alif Red could not have occurred. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. Don't you hear the pursuit music playing?
Oh. Oh my god. There's so much to actually unpack here. So first of all, the bubble that she was like, you know when she's doing her sleeping sprite and the bubble comes up and it's like, oh well, she's snoring, so that's like a bubble that represents she's sleeping. It was actually a bubble blower that she had under her hair the whole time. Second of all, it really feels like they're trying to get across the idea that she is really high. It's like, get it? It's because she's smoking weed, but actually she's smoking a bubble blower. Also, serious time. Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. It is exactly as you say.
Are you confessing to having participated in the smuggling?
No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop.
What are you doing?
There's no direct correlation after all. Oh yeah, my signature on a piece of paper.
Really? All you did was sign it?
I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So, sorry about that.
It seems she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight.
Suppose, and this is just...
I like how she's like gone from being like more Valley Girl-ish to like they're giving her more complex language now that she's actually seriously trying to argue. Sudden change. Yeah, they do that with a lot of guilty characters, and it's really good. I always love seeing like their breakdown sprites to see how they completely change their demeanor. I love how in later games, oh, it's so good. The way that their actual design changes.
Even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that. Objection! If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding a smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. Pew! I'm shooting you with my gun! Pew!
So perhaps there is some element of a setup at play in this case.
I'm still gonna shoot you with my gun! Pew! Grr! What are you talking about? Pew!
Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I meant the killer. First, it was myself, and now it's Miss Tenero who is under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can.
You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up or that she isn't.
Actually, I believe that she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my sus. This proves that the killer was out to frame Miss Tenero from the very beginning.
Is it the suitcase? Oh, that's why she specifically put it inside the suitcase. It wasn't to hide the evidence, it was to frame her for the murder. Unless there's another thing I'm forgetting.
Take Take that! The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so?
Oh god. I love her angry sprites. They're so good. Her expressions are great, and I love that she's pulling on the stuffed animal. I'm Popeye now.
The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tenero for the murder. Miss Tenero buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Ergo, they had to make do with whoever was at hand, adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. I am very afraid of earthquakes. I have PTSD, if you didn't know. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree, totally not the murderer?
Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway?
That is because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstances?
Where the murder took place, when the murder took place, who the murder victim was. Is it because he was... Wait, what? It's because he was Interpol.
The killer was at a loss of what to do with Agent Hicks's body. But as it just so happened, there were a bunch of empty suitcases nearby. Being a skinny man, the killer...
No, that's not what I meant. Edgeworth, that's not what I meant. I meant it's because he was the Interpol Virginian.
You mean that the whole plan to frame someone was an elaborate coincidence?
No, that's not what I said. You've wrongly deduced my meaning, Miss Meal.
Savannah Hoop was the wrong deductions as you. Think before you speak again.
Edgeworth, that's not what I meant when I said the person.
Patience, Franziska. I was about to reveal the truth. Ba-ba-da-ba-da.
Where the murder took place? Here in the cargo hold. So he had to frame the only person that had access to the elevator.
The special circumstance is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Cammy Meal. Only you and you alone could be the killer.
Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. Boo!
I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture.
It's the phone! Oh my god, this is what I was talking about when we have to use a piece of evidence that doesn't exist to prove a point. And it's inside her stuffed animal.
Take that! I don't have any actual evidence.
I thought not.
But that's because it went missing and still is.
Missing? What do you mean by that?
In the complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on, and that is the victim's cell phone. Franziska, you were the one at the airport You were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks's cell phone. Or at least, that's what you told me.
That's right.
But Agent Hicks's cell phone could not be found at the crime scene.
You mean the killer took the phone with him?
Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer.
Are they gonna phone it? Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well?
We won't know that until we try a little experiment, will we?
She could just have it in a pocket.
Yeah, but this is an Ace Attorney game where everything has to have a funny gimmick. Also, it makes more sense to hide it inside the stuffed animal because if they like searched everybody on the plane and just checked their pockets, then they would find it really quickly. So she had to hide it somewhere that they wouldn't be able to find it. So they searched the plane, I think. She had to hide it not somewhere on the plane. She had to keep it on her, but if they did like a pat down, if they did like a body search, she couldn't put it in her pockets. So she probably put it in the stuffed animal. And also because this is an Ace Attorney game and every character has to have a gimmick, it has to be inside the stuffed animal.
Franziska, I'd like to ask for your assistance. I cannot perform a full body search on a female suspect. You know the victim's phone number, do you not?
Oh yeah, this thing that I said she was gonna do.
Of course I do.
Agent Hicks's phone! It's ringing from somewhere, sir!
I hear it, detective. Now, where is it coming from?
I mean, I feel like it's obvious. Can I talk to you one more time?
Yes, sir?
Okay. I just wanted to see if he had anything to say. Here we go. Ma'am?
Miss Meal, wake up!
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I was sleepy all of a sudden because it sounds like a lullaby I still have as a child.
I'd better find that cell phone fast.
Really? It's not on her?
It sounds like the phone is up in the flight attendant's room.
We better get to the flight attendant's room, sir.
Interesting. I actually thought it was gonna be in the stuffed bear.
The ringing's coming from somewhere in here, sir.
Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. I won't stop until I inspect every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Is it this? Is it the lockers?
The ringing is coming from somewhere around here.
But it's not here, sir.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about where we're going to find the phone?
The ringing's coming from in here, sir.
She put it inside the locker, of course. God damn it.
What? No, it can't be.
This has got to be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sir?
It's Miss Tenero's.
What?
God damn it. Of course she would put it in there.
Ba-da-ba-dum.
So, Mr. Edgeworth, how did it go? Where did you find the phone?
I found it in the flight attendant's room. In Miss Tenero's locker.
What? But... Rhoda Tenero? I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Miss Von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away.
Objection! Wait! I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the key card. When the killer went to steal the key card, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time.
Objection!
Objection! This is related to the key card, all right. In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That is the one bird we cannot ignore. No!
What should I do? Franziska's right. I can't offer unbased conjectures at this point. All right then. Why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? It must have something very incriminating on or in it.
I guess, could it have had blood?
Hold it!
I think it's just the picture. Also, this idiot has just been standing here the whole time. Like, why is LeBlanc still here? Why are you still in this?
What now, Miles Edgeverse?
It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone.
What?
Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. Ah, it's a camera lens. Yes, some phones are also cameras. We just invented this in the year 2027. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of the smuggling? Franziska, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures?
God, it's so funny how anachronistic these games are because they're in the future. Like, I think the original trilogy was like 2018 or something. Like, it took place in 2018, but it was written in like 2001. Which I guess, wait, what year is it? What year does this take place in again? I've been saying 2027, but I think that's actually the sequel trilogy. This is in 2019. Yeah. So it's actually, we're actually in 29. I keep saying 2027, but I think that's the sequel trilogy. The Apollo Justice trilogy. So we're in 2019, and Edgeworth is still like,
this cell phone. Have we invented picture phones yet in the year of our Lord 2019?
Whoops, I have to click back in.
Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir.
This looks like a very similar model to my own. I also have a picture phone from the year 2019. We haven't invented smartphones yet.
Yeah, original trilogy is in 2016, but when it was written, it was in 2001. And I guess this was around 2004, 2005-ish when it was written. It's even funnier because the Apollo Justice trilogy is like that's the one that takes place in 2027. So like they did a time skip and it still takes place in the future, but then they still have VHS tapes in Apollo Justice. Oh, you know, one of my favorite things about the timeline that Ace Attorney takes place in, there's a line in Ace Attorney 3 where someone mentions the Harlem Shake. And like that was a dance before it became a meme. And so it was a reference to the dance. And because it was written in like 2001, it couldn't have possibly predicted the meme. But like the case that it's mentioned in is a flashback case that takes place in like 2010 or 2012 or something. So it lines up exactly when it became a meme. So when you think about it, in universe, they could just be referencing the meme because it happens to take place around the same time as real life.
Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures as evidence for his smuggling case? If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for our killer smuggler. The person who smuggles killers into the country.
But the phone's all busted up, sir.
Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone.
I'll find a way, don't you worry about that.
Objection! The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. Did you know that we have already invented micro SD cards in the year 2019? I can transfer it to my phone.
What? What do you mean by that, Franziska?
It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the phones are still there, inside, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone using the micro SD card which we invented this year.
Franziska, your phone, if you please.
Very well. It's transferring. All right, displaying it now.
This is
Proof that the statue was not there. Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case.
I guess we can also see the bags there. I'm trying to see if there's anything specific that matters. Also, it says AE.
Hey, the Leaf Red's nowhere in this pic, sir.
This has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right?
Ouch, she's right. There's not much we can find out about this case from Agent Hicks's killer, sir.
Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo we can use?
Is it this? What is the implication here? I mean, obviously the implication is they took the suitcase. But how does this prove that it was Cami Meal and not Rota Tenero? Bed sheets? I don't know if that's relevant, is it? I guess there's no penalty for examining, right?
Boxes of bed sheets. These are still in the cargo hold, though. There's nothing unusual about them in particular, but I can't shake the feeling.
I'm just playing around. Why do I go home?
Yes, I mind. What exactly is different between then and now?
What is different? I'm pretty sure it's this.
The fact that all the suitcases here in this photo is all.
Agent Hicks was still alive at the time. So what exactly is so odd about suitcases that haven't been used yet being there?
I feel like it might be the AE. Like, I wish we had... Oh, here's something. Here's the question. So where did these boxes go? Yeah, no, so here's what they're getting at, and here's why I wasn't sure why they wanted me to point out the suitcases, and it turns out they didn't. One was taken, they're pointing it out now. It doesn't matter because we already know that he was put in a suitcase that was taken from here, but this was taken before he was murdered. What we're trying to figure out is how we can connect this to Cami Meal instead of Rota Tenero. And I'm not sure where we're going with this, but we do know that those boxes over there are gone now?
Yes, well, I was only pointing out things that are different between now and then.
Your off-topic ramblings have put this attendant to sleep yet again, Miles Edgeverse.
I'll give Sleepyhead here a rude awakening, a deafening objection, and a contradiction.
I think it's this.
What's all this?
Oh, they are cargo, shipped from Virginia to Zhengfa.
So, the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Zhengfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there is no English written on them anywhere.
One cluster of boxes is written in Virginian. It says, Shabadagoo. It is cloth in English.
Oh! That's where she got the cloth from, and the only way she would know there was cloth in there is because she knows how to read Virginian, which means it couldn't have been Rota Tenero, and that's how we pinned this murder on Cami Meal. Oh!
Cloth? Could it be? Is this where the killer... What? What is for that skinny face? Miss Meal?
Yes?
It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator.
Huh?
He left us with a piece of evidence, after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is.
Ha! Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken readings of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth.
The Virginian cargo and this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. Take that!
And what is that supposed to prove?
The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilt. But there was one thing that bothered me this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I have finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zhengfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean the blood with. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Cammy Meal.
Hold it! Ha! That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Virginian.
Objection! Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature.
What?
There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Borginian, well then... Logically, the killer would have opened this box first! The English bedsheets! Take that! Hey, it says bedsheets in English right on the box, sir! Precisely. And bedsheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say?
Hold it! So what are you trying to say?
That if I were the criminal, this box of bedsheets would have been what I would have spotted first.
However, the killer chose to use some Virginian cloths. Do you have an explanation for that?
The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold. So they were afraid to leave signs that the box for the sheets had been opened. However, the Virginian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. A Borginian color.
I'm pretty sure different countries have the same colors. Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zhengfa?
That's right. That is why the Borginian cloth was used. And the only Borginian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Cammy Meal. You and you alone. It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zhengfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. So, what do you say, Miss Meal? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find from our investigation in Zhengfa?
She's dead.
He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble.
Behold the power of my stand. What was it? Behold the power of my stand. Soft and wet. Use your ability. Plunder.
People that haven't read JoJo Part 8 won't understand that reference. That's like the only stand that makes bubbles, right? I'm pretty sure it is.
We finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir.
Very good, Detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? Wanda ob you!
Oh, are you pursuing me?
They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. Whenever we even approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. She said something about the Yatagara Sioux. It was scary, sir.
I'm waiting for like the other shoe to drop. I'm like waiting for literally anybody to mention the Yatagara Sioux in this case.
One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So at the end of case 1, I think it was implied that what's his face? Jacques Sportsman was involved with an evil corporation, and I forget what they actually said about them. And that corporation was also being robbed by the Yatagara Sioux. So I think whoever is actually in charge of the smuggling ring is the big bad guy that we have to fight in this game. And they're about to mention the Yatagara Sioux.
It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. I sure hope I find something more about this tomorrow.
Reminder that this takes place 1 day before case 1.
Mr. Edgeworth, I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much.
It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation.
But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now.
2 days before? No. Today... I mean, I guess the murder could have taken place 2 days before, but right now... Yeah, it's March 12th. Oh no, it is 2 days before. I forgot. Okay, I was thinking, yeah, because it's on Pi Day. Case 1 is on Pi Day. I remember it was on March 14th. It was 3.14. So this was 2 days before.
Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that, well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation.
That's...
I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want it.
No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer.
Part 9 is so good so far. I have to catch up with it. Because it went on like a hiatus for a month, right? He skipped a month. And I think I missed like a chapter or two. But part 9's been great so far. I love how they've been like scaling down. It feels like, where was it? In part 6, when it went to like universe-ending proportions, and now they're sort of scaling it down to somewhat local level.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at Go You Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Now, I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue, no matter where you go.
Oshitsureshimasu.
I can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir, but boy was it fun.
Speak for yourself. My day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Franziska?
Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for her departure.
Departure? She was only here for one case?
Yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case.
Detective, can you cancel the car I had you reserve earlier?
You got it, sir.
Hi, I'm here. Franziska.
I thought I told you when you first landed. I have no time for idle chatter.
I have no intention of wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met.
I also have no time for such familiar reminiscences. That's a word. Just who do you think I am?
You are Franziska Von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect.
Till only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. Dancing Pierrot, living her life on the name and fame of invincible father built.
True, your father, Manfred von Karma. I must drop more lore on you in case you didn't play the first 3 games. Didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible. He was shot in the arm and also is a murderer and was arrested. You remember that, right? You remember that he is a bad guy, right?
What are you talking about? The group I'm on the trail of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only one sliver of the big picture.
Sounds like a dangerous assignment.
You really don't have to worry. I can take care of myself.
Yes, I suppose you can.
Plus, there is another agent on this case with me.
Oh, another character for us to meet in the future?
He's a star among Interpol agents and has the highest successful arrest rate. His name is Paul Eastman. Who knows, you maybe even run into him one day in another case.
I was simply caught up in this one case. I can hardly see why we would cross paths.
DS sold so many more units. Yeah, but this was after they ported the first 3 games to the DS and then also made the 4th game and then made this game after that. So, I mean, like, it probably sold a whole lot on the DS. That's why they ported it to 3DS again. But, like, there's no way they assume. I think they do this in, like, every game where they assume you've never played the games before.
I suppose. But I doubt he would say the same.
I'm not following you.
You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Adverse. You don't know that I'm foreshadowing for the next case.
I can tell you're foreshadowing for the next case.
No, you don't know that. I'm very smart. I'll be back to this country soon enough, perhaps in case 4 or case 5 if there is fun. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back in full.
This was early DS. What's the touchscreen gimmick? The touchscreen gimmick is... What evidence do I have that this? This was the touchscreen gimmick. So what this was... So the way I'm controlling this now is with my control sticks, because I have a controller, so I can do 2 things at once. Left control stick moves this, right control stick moves this. But since this was on the DS and had the touch screen, what it was you would drag this around with the stylus. You would use the arrows to move this around, and you drag this around with the stylus, and you do this. There was also like fingerprint stuff. So what they would have you do is you tap the screen with the stylus to spread fingerprint powder. And then once you have the fingerprint powder spread, you blow it away using the Nintendo DS microphone. And then there was also luminol testing fluid where you would spray it around, look for traces of blood. It was basically mostly just that. It was just using touchscreen for like these investigation segments. Because the first 3 games didn't have this. Like the only thing you could do with evidence was look at it like this and see what the description was, and then maybe if there's a picture you zoom in. But because the first 3 games were made for the Game Boy Advance, so they didn't have that. So from Apollo Justice, or technically from the additional Game 1 Case 5 DLC case that they made for the first game, when they ported it over to DS, onward, they had you be able to do this kind of thing. And that was the DS gimmick. And I guess they just did that with these 2.
Just like that, she's gone, huh, sir? Thank goodness I can finally rest easy knowing I won't have to watch out for her whip.
Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation.
Oh, it was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. I think I'm gonna celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight.
Sigh, just how much did you cut his salary by, Franziska? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office. It will take 2 days to get there.
Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in the patrol car if you want.
Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Thus, I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Franziska Von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war, they would begin to make themselves known throughout the next incident. Edgeworth speaking. Finally! I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through.
I don't know who this is.
And you are? Have you forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy?
Miles, my boy. Is this... This can't be Chief Detective Gant, can it? I have no idea who would call him my boy. Who?
Mr. Amano? Ernest Amano, correct?
Who? Who? Ernest Amano? What is this a pun of? I mean, obviously Ernest is a word. Amano? Amano? Mano, Amano? Yeah, that's like the only thing I can think of, but... Man to man? Ernest? Is his name just an earnest man? Is that the pun? He's just a nice guy.
Mr. Nice Guy, is that you? Ah, so you do remember me. I know it's rather...
I don't know what this guy looks like, so I can't give him a voice.
I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he is very sick. He's been kidnapped.
Oh. Fiend. Amazing. Oh my god. The end of that case is a lot longer than I expected. I guess I should have expected it from the to be continued. Fiend. Oh my god. And we're on case 3. Except, oh my god, I'm half an hour over time. Am I even gonna finish this by the time Zelda comes out? Should we see what the opening cutscene? I want to see what the opening cutscene is. I want to see it. I promised we would start case 3 today. And this took a lot longer than expected. Ah, there she is. Who? This guy's on the box. I don't know who this is, but he's on the box. Like, you can see his outline, and then in my thumbnail, you can see him on the box art. I want to see what the opening cutscene is before we leave. I want to see what the start of this is. The Kidnapped Turnabout. March 13th. Wait, what? Wait, what?
It's time.
Don't worry, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be following your every movement with my binoculars.
Good to hear. Now make sure you don't lose sight of me. I'm counting on you for backup.
You can count on me, sir.
I have to go. The kidnapper is supposed to contact me soon. Who would have thought that upon my return, I'd be thrust into a kidnapping case, and that I would be the one who would have to make the ransom drop-off.
Also, new music. Oh, that's so cute!
Let's see. I checked that the money is all there, safe inside the suitcase.
He's using the suitcase. First of all, wait a second. This takes place on the 13th? So case 1 takes place tomorrow? So he had 3 cases in 3 days? He did the plane. he did this, and then he arrives at his office to find another murder. This is Edgeworth's no good, very bad week. Like, this all takes place in 1 week?
Let's see. I checked that the money is all there, safe inside this suitcase. Now all I have to do is await further instructions from the kidnapper, which I'm expecting to be transferred to my cellular phone. Mine does not take pictures. It is from the year 2012. I wonder who else is around. This is the meeting place after all.
Oh, Jesus Christ! No! First of all, what do you mean Gatewater? That's the hotel. Second of all, this awful, disgusting creature is the Blue Badger. Oh no, they remixed the Blue Badger theme. Bum 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 ba da ba da ba 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 da ba bum ba da ba ba da bum bum bum. I hate this. God. You see that thing on the very left-hand side of the screen that's like a standee? That's the original Blue Badger, and it was like, in case 5 of the first game, there was like a security camera section, and you had to keep on watching the security tape like 5 times in a row. And it played the music that was just like ba 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 over and over again. And it was like the creepiest thing ever. But now they made it worse by removing its eyes. And also, I've seen the screenshot. That's like one of the things I was spoiled on. I've seen the screenshot where this disgusting demon being murders Edgeworth. Obviously doesn't actually murder him, but it's a really funny screenshot.
Welcome to Gatewaterland!
Oh, thank you.
And a big hello to you! I'm the Proto Badger! Nice to meet you!
Proto B.
Excuse me, but were you perhaps thinking of taking a picture of me?
A picture of you?
How did this guy get his own theme park?
Sorry, but I'm not interested.
Ah, that's too bad. Well, have a good day. I'm going to get my revenge on you, Miles Edgeworth, for denying me the picture.
Hello?
Who are you? You're not Ernest Emerald.
It sounds like the kidnapper is using some sort of voice alteration device. I'm his representative, Miles Edgeworth.
Are you a cop?
No, I'm a prosecutor. I know what you're wondering, and yes, I have brought the ransom money with me.
I see. In that case, bring the money with you to the stadium.
So this person intends to see if I'm being followed, huh? Please, Detective Gumshoe, I really need you to come through for me this one time.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, there it is. The Blue Badger. Oh my god, it's the freaking Red Badger guitar. The Gaviners, wait! That's the Gaviners logo. They're from Apollo Justice.
Edgeworth speaking.
Next, come to the haunted house.
And just how long do you intend to have me wander around for?
That's for me to decide. You don't have much of a choice here, my friend.
Also, what does this sign say? Battle of the Magicians, Max Galactiva versus Troop Gramarye. So Troop Gramarye is like one of the main plot threads of Apollo Justice. And Max Galactica is a magician from the circus case of the second game in the series. And then it's the Gaviners special concert. References. I understood those references. Can I save? I guess I have to. I've arrived.
Go inside.
Maybe I should save here. Ah. I love haunted houses. God, there it is.
What a dismal place.
This is awful. I hate this. Look at this awful demon.
That's it. Go through those doors.
Am I being watched from somewhere?
Is he in the badger suit? He has to be in the badger suit. Who is that?
Leave the money and go. Now.
Grr! I was hoping for an exchange, but maybe I should do as they say for now and not push it. I couldn't catch even a glimpse of the kidnapper. Perhaps I should keep an eye on this haunted house until police backup arrives.
Oh God, here it comes. No! Edgewood, turn around! Oh God, he has AirPods in! Yeah, so that's the screenshot I've seen.
Ah, it was a trap! Ugh.
Anyway. Oh, I accidentally did that in another slot. So that's the screenshot I've seen of him getting murked by the blue badger. God, that's so awful. Why would they give that thing no eyes? That's so disgusting and evil. Oh. I'm so glad that this is the title screen that they decided to go with for this case. I already love that they were changing the title screen depending on what case you're on. I adore that this is the screenshot they use for this case. Anyway, that's gonna be everything for today. Thank you so much for coming. We went way over time. Next stream is going to be on Friday, and then after that, I think we only have one more stream of this before Zelda comes out next week. And then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for the schedule, but I'm gonna try to, I think what I'm gonna do on the day that Zelda releases is I'm gonna try to get the day off so that I can do an extra long stream where I play the entire day. I want to like play through as much of that game as possible before I get spoiled on anything, because that looks like a really open game where you want to look for things yourself and experiment without getting spoiled. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. I will see you all next time, and as always, oh Yasu Moriarty, don't get murked by the blue badger. Good night.